A very good morning and welcome to Global Morning Saturday edition of the program. This is where we help you start your day, your weekend with you on a very good note as we bring you information, we bring you, all of the things that will make you feel very good and very happy this morning. Our joy, it's very simple. Every morning when we come on the program is to keep you informed, keep you entertained, and help you to run with the day. My name is Ubon. Sorry, I'm welcoming you to the program, and I have Sadia Yakubu right beside you. Very good morning to you, Sadia.
Good morning to you, Ubon Usorum. So it's another wonderful Saturday again to be on set with you. And how do you intend to spend your Saturday after work?
Will I have a Saturday after work?
I love to hear you ask me this question.
Okay, so right, go ahead.
No, continue.
All right, so I like that we start on a very good note because our children that were in captivity, have been returned home. Yeah. Right, the school children are adopted, and teachers from Orire local government area in Oyo State, after spending 56 days.
Is it 56 or 57?
56 days. They spent 56 days and were rescued, by security forces yesterday, July 10th, and adopted and kidnapped on the 15th of May. Right, so 56 days in terrorist enclaves, in captivity, and finally they are back. And for me, I know that some person may want to play politics with this. Some person have said, were they really rescued or ransomed?
You know Nigeria, so I shouldn't.
That one is not my concern, right? My concern is that these children are back. I cannot, phantom what it means to be in open space as a child for 56 days. These children were inside a forest. Well, they were not in a mansion. Right? Even if they were in a mansion, kidnapped is kidnapped. Yeah. They were inside a forest, and this is a rainy season. It could get very cold. They were at the risk of being beaten by maybe snakes or whatever. So for me, just the fact that they are back, it's a big deal for me, and I think it's worth celebrating as a Nigerian because we are all Nigerians after all.
Yeah, so congratulations to the returnees. Let's just put it like that. Let me just put it like that, the returnees. And a very big kudos to the state government or the federal government, whoever tried to facilitate this release. We say very big thank you. And I think they need to go for medical checkup.
Absolutely. They need to go for psychological, evaluation.
Yeah.
And I just, take the statements of President Bola Tinubu. The president said, expresses joy over the return, over the rescue of Orire adopted school children and teachers, commend security agencies. So President Bola Tinubu has expressed profound joy at the successful rescue of the children and teachers from Orire communities of Omosho, Oyo State by security forces. President Tinubu praised the heroic effort of security agencies, especially the military, DSS, and police, for working around the clock in the last 56 days to secure the release of the adopted children and the teachers without any collateral damage, for arresting 8 of the abductors and neutralizing others. President Tinubu regrets the anguish that the children and their teachers, as well as members of the family and the entire nation, are experiencing the sad occurrence. And let me just go to the last part now. The president has also directed the emergency agencies to work with Oyo State government to provide all necessary medical and relief support for the children and the teachers. So all of them, according to this is a presidential statement from the State House, the president is saying that it was the work of the military. The military was involved, the DSS was involved, the police was involved. So basically three agencies: our military, very gallant military, the DSS, and the police that were involved in this rescue operation. And the president is saying that 8 persons have been arrested as a result of this, and some were neutralized. You know what neutralization means,
Yeah.
right? Army says they have neutralized somebody.
So we are starting today with a good news.
Yeah.
Even though they were released yesterday, but I think the press statement now from the president just came out this morning, right? So it's a good one, it's a win, and kudos to, like I stated earlier, the federal government, the state government, and then the military.
Yeah, but I think the fundamental issue too, we are celebrating this, is that let's look at the other part. How did it even happen? You know, because they say there's something they say. If you do the same thing the same way, you will get the same results, right? If you don't read for the exams, you failed last year, and you don't say, oh, because I failed last year, this year at least they should pass me.
And you still use the same process.
Of course, it will give you the same results. So
yeah.
How did we get here? These are fundamental questions that we must be able to ask ourselves.
So to that, honestly, I don't even know what to say about, sir.
Right, because just the other day, today on the news, I was reading that Imo State Police Command arrested 185, criminals.
Yeah.
185, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 85. That's in Imo.
Yeah.
The other day at the court, the federal government is doing an accelerated trial of terrorists. 400 and something. Came. That's the first batch. There's another batch of over that same number. So
what's really going on?
How did we get here that we have so many persons involved in, and you need to go to our prisons? It's almost filled up.
Yeah, number one, no empowerment. Number two, I think the criminal business, that is the kidnapping and every other fetish stuff. All right, they feel it generates more money.
Absolutely,
quick money.
I agree with you. They get rich quick. Yes, get rich quick.
Yeah.
But some person get into kidnap, and in just 1, 2, they have become millionaires.
In just one kidnap, you get huge money. So they feel they can't work, they can't do the right thing. They can't endure.
It's too stressful for them.
Yes, it's too stressful for them. So they
wake
feel
up like us.
Yes, and don't forget that most of these sponsors of terrorism are majorly the big, should I say, the upper hands. All right, they provide them with weapons and information about certain persons to kidnap, and then when they bring that money, they divide the money. Class A will take his own, Class B before we. That's the kidnappers. So if Party A tries the business and says that yes, the boss is remitting, he will go and bring Party B, that is his friend. Come, something like this is legit. Let's do it. Before you know, and that's how our youth are being pressured. If they had something doing, if they had tangible thing doing, if you go outside country, you see the way they do things there. But we in Nigeria, we only have some classes suppressing other classes. It's just like a family business. If I am governing you, every other good, big, favorable post, I give it to some family members. I give it. You understand? Yeah. Leaving behind other people. So for me, I think these are part of the things. This part of the things that is pushing our youth into doing some dangerous business, what they shouldn't do. Right. Now, most of them don't have conscience again.
Absolutely, and I think it's very sad because we used to be a very morally built-up society, and now we have a high level of moral bankruptcy, right? Where people are so morally bankrupt, and I think we also need to talk about a system. There's this shame system. Maybe it's not that pushed, but maybe even social media pushes it sometimes. Yeah. There's this reward of people that have money. People tend to reward them. Nobody really cares about what they do, for a living. Maybe you go for a family meeting or you go to a village. The next thing they see you with car,
you respect.
They will give you a chieftaincy title. They'll give you a chieftaincy title. They will, gather press singers to sing. So these kind of things motivate people to we should be able to scrutinize the source of people's.
But
I know I've also heard people say if you not scrutinize their poverty, you don't scrutinize their right, so we should balance it. The government, like you mentioned, has a role to play because the number of people going to crime is alarming. And we cannot continue like this. Yes, I know that there's a fundamental morality question that you shouldn't do crime no matter what. Because in the final analysis, there's no excuse for crime. Like the court, you say, ignorance before the law is not an excuse. Right? You cannot say, I didn't know that he was going to die. That was why I punched him. I just say, let me punch him so that we will play. It's not an excuse, right? You cannot say, I didn't know this. I didn't. Those ones don't count. So ignorance to say, because you know. So fundamentally, because there are also millions of Nigerians, right? We have to balance it, who have taken a decision, even when they are tempted to take what is not theirs. They've said, no. We can't do this. This is not. So there are millions of Nigerians who've done that, right? So we should be part of those because crime, in the final analysis, does not pay. Yeah, it may pay you today. You may get rich all of a sudden, get a chieftaincy, get married to one or two wives, and do all of those things, but it will not last. And at the end of the day, when it comes, you'll be disgraced, embarrassed, and shameful.
And then those same people in your society that sang your praises then, that clapped for you, that will be like, you don't know this, I want my son to be like this person, I want my daughter to be like this person. They will be the same set of people to make mockery of you.
Absolutely.
So if you're doing anything, you don't look at what people would say, you just do the right thing.
Right. I remember a guy that was arrested somewhere, I think in the south, and he went to steal how do you call it, attachments or hair for
women,
for his girlfriend. Wow. Right. So whatever in Peruvian or whatever country. When he was arrested, you saw it. The girl in question, came and said he did not ask her. She did not ask him to go and steal. Right?
And he wanted to please her.
You can never really please people.
You can't.
Right. No matter what you do, right? You can never. So you just do your best and leave the rest. The girl in question that you are going to go and steal her, gear that you cannot afford. You cannot tell her that, please, so you enter one shop and be your hair for now. Because there's no. Because you know me now. I don't form a fake lie, right? Which is very important. Some persons going to death just because they want to live a certain way, right? They want people to see them a certain way. I don't form a fake. If I don't have.
I don't have.
If I don't have if I have, I have. If I don't have, I don't have. So and it comes from a place of contentment and not feeling inferior, because there are people that feel like that. Oh, if I enter this along, for instance, and people see me, how would they take me?
Will the people pay for your transport fare?
Yeah.
Would they pay for the job? Let's say you work 30 days or 31 days in a month. Will they pay for it?
Absolutely.
They will not. So you will do what you can afford. If it's taken along, take you along, respectively.
Until when you are
strong enough,
you are strong enough, and you do. So it should be about you. There are even persons that, as schools will start, they'll start calling you, asking you, please, they want to pay their children's school fees, they want to do this. Ask them, how much is your child's school fee? They say 200,000. How much is your salary? They say 100,000. How will you be earning 100,000 and you're paying 200? I understand that you want to give your children the best education, but
let it just be within your capacity.
Yeah.
What you can afford.
Absolutely. Some of us, by the mercies and privilege of God, we went to
government school,
free education. We turned out good. So you can model your children. You can maybe get a lesson teacher. But don't ever go beyond your means because it's the same curriculum. Get the curriculum of the school. It's the same curriculum that everybody uses from JSS this to this. It's the same JAM they will write. It's the same WAEC they will write. So if they go through the items in that curriculum or whatever you call it, the syllabus in the curriculum, they will be able to come out good. Yeah. So instead of killing yourself, look for a way to, because they can even go to that school and not get what is being taught. Yeah. So make sure that they understand what is being taught. You follow up with them, maybe get a private lesson teacher or whatever, or you could dedicate your own time
and do it.
And homeschool them since you don't have the means, right? School them well and they'll turn out good. Not to bother people, send people text messages, go into crime just because you want to, have a certain way of doing things.
Yeah, all right, so let's go on a quick short break where we'll come back and take, of course, newspapers for today. And let's get the headlines. Information is power, information is key, so don't go nowhere. We'll be right back. Newspaper.
All right, welcome back to the program. Now we get to look at what the papers are saying. And for our Saturday morning, we'd like to start this morning with the Punch newspaper Saturday edition of the program. Punch newspaper Saturday edition. The lead story says, Oyo abduction, inside operation that freed pupils, teachers after 56 days in captivity. On the rider, we have jubilation great release of abductees. Federal government denies swap deal, vows justice for victims. Our uncle is never coming home. Slain teacher's family. Sadly, one of the victims was murdered, and I think this is going to be like the lead story for all the other major newspapers for today. But that's the lead story for the Punch this morning. And like we mentioned earlier, congratulations to, like the president had mentioned in his speech, the security agencies that were involved in this rescue operation are very gallant military men and women. The DSS, the Department of State Services, and we also talk about the Nigerian police, right? These are Nigerians who have sacrificed their lives, putting their lives on the line so we could sleep with our eyes closed. So we have to really appreciate the work they do.
So for me, deadly trust. Unregulated workforce where domestic workers kill employers, and that's on page 20 and 21 of Saturday Punch.
Right. Let's even just mention a bit about this domestic workers' relationship with employers, because one of the first female pilots we had in Nigeria was killed by a domestic worker.
Yeah.
A driver in our compound, and we've seen domestic workers sometimes informants to kidnappers, even so that their bosses can be kidnapped. Some domestic workers have also become, we talked about informants to some domestic workers are even the ones that bring criminals to the house.
Yeah.
Maybe a house girl, but she will pretend when the criminal comes, she will shout as if she doesn't know anything about.
Yeah.
So I think that we have to scrutinize and carry a way of vetting people that live with us, especially people that are very close to us. It must be an avenue of vetting them, not just say, oh, I'm looking, because that's how people used to do them. I'm looking for somebody to stay with me. So anybody you see will just bring anybody you know little or nothing about, because the people who are closest to you, your gardeners, your cook, your drivers, these are people that know your day-to-day activities and can, easily sell you out if they want. But we must be able to interact and have some, maybe people that are doing domestic work should even be registered by maybe government for some background checks before they are employed.
True, at least the crime rate will kind of reduce from that.
Yeah, and just before I forget, and please also pay your domestic staff well.
Exactly. Some domestic staff, some domestic workers, the way their bosses treat them, it's very bad.
Absolutely.
So in order to retaliate, they feel, okay, whatever, they just go ahead and then find some set of people or bad groups, and then they connive and they carry out attacks. Even if they would get arrested or someone would arrest them, they don't care. So long as they've achieved their aim. This person tortured me. This person I went through hell when I was staying with this person. I barely eat. I barely do this. They barely pay me my money. So they feel satisfied once they hurt their bosses. It's when you hear the story first, you think, you blame the domestic workers and then feel like, why would you do something like this? But it's when you start digging deep, like you start going deeper, that's where you get the full information that even the bosses also did something to them.
Right.
You get, so if you, let's say for house help now, for example, we've seen last week, I think Anambra State or Imo State, one of the states, we saw a video of a woman holding knife and then trying to, is it cut her ear or something, just trying to harm the young lady. And she sat on her. A woman that is bigger than me. If you see the woman and see the little girl, the girl was crying, screaming begging the woman to please let her be. We've seen another one where same gender woman, you know how painful the stress of pregnancy and giving birth to a child is. You see that of someone else and you feel you would hurt someone else's child just because you were not the one that gave birth to that child. That's too bad. For God's sake, that child has a mother. You are a mother. If you know you don't want to have any of them around, let them go rather than treating them bad.
Right.
There's a video of one boy, little boy, 10 years old boy, with bruises all over his body. That too, by a woman. So now tell me, if this boy eventually turns, if he age, like if he grows up, do you think he will forgive that woman? He would not. He will want to retaliate. So it's only that retaliation part that we see and feel, no, they are not supposed to do this. But when you go deeper, you find out that they have wronged them too as well. So they are only retaliating.
Right.
So if you know you don't want to, you treat them bad, don't even bring them in. Whereas on the other hand, we have those that will accept this house help or domestic workers with their whole heart,
Right, yeah.
and treat them as their own. You won't even know the difference between their own biological kids or child and the one they adopted.
Absolutely. I know that what
so
you're
it's
saying
a
is
50-50.
true. Yeah, so please, even though you are not also treated well, please do not take the laws into your hands. And please, for those who have domestic workers, treat them well. There are persons who, in a day, even their dog does not eat 30,000 naira food, right? You stay in that same compound and they are paying their domestic workers sometimes 30,000.
Yeah.
And we say, after all, I gave you accommodation,
Yeah.
I gave you food, so I can pay you 30,000. But this person is saying that dogs are eating better than, so these are some of the things that can trigger it. But let's move away from that story. We'll take another story on the Punch newspaper this morning. It says 2027 Tinubu returns Shetima as parties race to meet INEC guideline. Yesterday, Vice President Kashim Shetima was, nominated and endorsed by the APC National Working Committee and President Tinubu as a vice presidential candidate of the APC for 2027 general elections.
All right, the federal government denies swap deal, vows justice for victims. I think still talking about
your
abduction. Yeah.
Okay, other stories. I begged for my life as South African pointed gun at me, returning Otuki. Their story is still coming from South Africa. I'm sad that this is where we are as a continent.
All right, and 2027, we will reject any electoral fraud, says Makinde.
All right, so let's move to the next newspaper, and the next newspaper will be the Sun newspaper. We take the Saturday edition of the Sun newspaper. Sadia, please take.
All right, so how joint forces rescued Oyo kids, killed, arrested kidnappers. Tinubu orders medical support for victims. Makinde excited, says it's a big relief. APC, APM, Afenifere, MPF, loud security agencies, Psychologists Council, a federal government. And that's on page 4 and 5.
All right, so we take other stories on the newspaper. 2026, Tinubu sticks with Shetima as running mate. Again, APC National Working Committee settles for Muslim ticket.
All right, public finance. Atiku slams president over audit bill. Tinubu acknowledges, who will help me out? I can't say that properly. Is it pain of reforms?
Yeah, Tinubu acknowledges pains of reform.
Of reforms, yeah.
All right, Nigerians divided over NYSC reform, new uniforms, duration of service, and leadership of the corps. Right, so when Nigerians are saying, should we change the NYSC uniform? Let's allow it to remain the way it's been for quite a while. So what's your take on the NYSC, the whole change of the system, and the whole NYSC?
For me, I think if we should go back to how NYSC was before, I think it's better, because we have people from north, we have people from south, we have people from east and west. All right, south. We all come together to wear one uniform. All right, we maintain one normal NYSC uniform. No tribes, no different. You don't differentiate. People from the north would go to the south, and people from the south will come to the. We are mixed together. All right. So you saying you want to change everything now? If not because of the Minister for Youth said, no, people misunderstood his speech. That Adire, everybody knows it's for Yoruba. So if we are to go by Adire, that means we are following one path of the country. And to me, I don't think it speaks good. If you want to change the uniform, fine. Bring another color of khaki, not Adire. Bring khaki. Let's all put on the khaki. So that me from north, you from east, and that one from west and south will use it, and then we can still mix up. That's number one. Number two, now they would extend the days in camp a month and 2 weeks. All right. How did you survive 3 weeks in camp? Don't forget that some people, you can't eat the food coming from the kitchen. You would have to buy. And that's why they have mommy markets. That means I'll start buying food for 1 month and
2 weeks. Don't forget that every day, if people fall sick inside the camp, like you're in the camp,
I don't even understand the kind of sickness, because the malaria in the camp is different from that one you left in your house.
And homesick, right?
You fall sick
Again, constantly, and you start. No. For me, I think they should just leave it to be.
Yeah, some Nigerians have even talked about the fact that it seems NYSC have overstayed its usefulness. Some have said it should be scrapped because people.
My opinion, it shouldn't be scrapped, because that's where we get to meet other people from other backgrounds.
The insecurity.
But because of challenge we are having now, what they should do is like states that they have insecurity issues, like my state, Kebbi, Sokoto, their camp you should relocate their camp. Maybe you merge them with other states. You get cut out these other states that are battling insecurity, and then you push them to another state. For me, then the 3 weeks should be reduced. Let it be like 2 weeks or a week. My own opinion.
Right, and some persons have even said, let people serve in states they want to serve. I know the danger with that would be Lagos and Abuja, Port Harcourt, and maybe a few other places will be bombarded, because almost everybody wants to serve Lagos and Abuja.
The way it is, let them just leave it. Let people, me from the north, take me to Port Harcourt. That's in Port Harcourt, bring him to the north as usual. Let's mix.
Has he really achieved anything?
We've not, but then some people during NYSC
they met their husbands.
Not even husbands.
Well, it's true. A lot of persons met their husbands.
Some people got good jobs from there.
Right.
It's when you get to mix with people that you have better opportunities. So
some people also lost their jobs, because there are persons who are already working once they are out of school because of NYSC.
Yes. So it's a 70-30. Let me just put it, because the advantage of it is higher than the disadvantage.
Right. I like to agree with you, absolutely. All right, so let's still look at the papers. We're looking at the Sun newspaper this morning. Other stories on the Sun.
A man's kindness attracts me, not physical appearance. Bola Ogunmola. That's on page 16.
All right. Why I set 1.4 billion naira humanitarian agenda for Rotary District 911. Bukola Bakare, DG of Rotary. And those are all the stories we have from the Sun newspaper this Saturday morning. We'll go ahead and take another newspaper this morning. And the next paper we'll be taking, we'll take the Nation newspaper. I'll take the lead story. It says 8 kidnappers arrested as Oyo pupils, teachers regain freedom. Presidency, some bandits neutralized, no ransomed or prisoner swap. Inside security operation that ended captive 56-day ordeal. We're grateful to President, security agencies, and freed principal, says freed principal in new video. This principal has really shown courage.
Yeah.
He has shown that leadership is beyond title. Yeah. And I like to just reiterate this, because the white concept of leadership we have today is leadership by designation and leadership by surrogacy, where you surrogate your responsibility. Because you're a leader, you give other people should do all the work. You're a leader, so you just come in. Have you done this? Have you done this? Have you done this?
But what about you?
Yeah, but the real leadership, right? How leadership is leading by example. It's showing. If you want people, there's a proverb in my place that says, if you want people to go a mile, you go 2 miles.
Yeah.
Right? If you want people to come to work by 8, for instance, you come by 7:30. Nobody will have excuse, because yes, because you are the leader. You are showing the example. If you say people should come by 8 and you come by 10, right? And the moment you come, you pick the register. There are
Start going
persons,
through.
yeah, there are audacious person like myself. One of the days, which I won't care what happens. One of the days I will ask you, "Good morning, sir," with all due respect. Right? Because people question things, right? People are not, they are not cows. Even cows, even cows. There are sometimes you say the cow should go left, the cow will go right because the cow is like left is not okay. But human beings are rational beings. They are able to process information. They're looking at, even you have children, if you are telling your children to do not to do something and you do that thing, they will remind you. I've seen it before. I have a rule that says, we have a rule that says, you don't pick people in the house. You don't pick people. You don't pick baby, whatever. Yeah, baby, you can just hug them, but don't pick them. Right? And one of those days, we had a baby came in, and mistakenly you just picked the baby. My sister reminded me, but you said we should not be picking people now.
So why did you do
What did you do? I had to really apologize. Oh, I'm so sorry. I went against that. I felt so bad because you're the one setting the rules. And that's how leadership is. People are looking at you. Sometimes she was able to say it because we have like a relationship with my sister, she can say things. But the person that they know and they will not say it because maybe they cannot say it to you. But in their heart, they know that this is not somebody to follow. Yeah. So that's why we need. Leadership comes with, putting yourself, exerting yourself, being there. That's why people were angry with President Tinubu, or some Nigerians commented, when the other time President Tinubu landed in the airport when he went to Plateau State, he landed and addressed the people from the airport. People said, no, that's not leadership, sir. You are the president, you should be able to move to... It sends a message that if our president can come here, it means we can. It tells the people what can be done, right? Because that's leader, giving people hope, telling people it is possible to do it. See, I am doing it. Once you step on the battlefield, your people are encouraged. Our president is, no, we have to move forward. But if you're a president that leads from home and leads from comfort, you say, how is it? How do people solve the problem? How come? It sends a mood and it shows not seriousness, we are not serious, we are not, so people will just do what they want to do.
Alright, so let's quickly go back to last paper. I think that will be the last paper before we go into the last segment of today's episode of the program.
Alright, so,
Troops arrest Chadian woman selling drugs, alcohol to terrorists in Borno. You see, we spoke about this terrorist stuff on this Global Morning, I think last week, or one of our shows where I said our borders, Nigerian borders, is very weak.
That's right.
Now, a Chadian woman is bringing in drugs and alcohol to terrorists in Borno. Borno is in Nigeria. You live in another country to do this supply in Nigeria. Do you know how many of them they would have allowed to pass, to come into the country? You wouldn't know.
It's quite very sad.
So for me, I think before we fight insecurity and win this insecurity issue, we should be able to have control over our borders.
That's very important. All right, so the Guardian newspaper now. Let's take the Guardian newspaper. Lead story says 56 days in hell over for Oyo children. 56 days in hell over for Oyo children and teachers. On the rider, we have reports that says Tinubu, Makinde held their safe return. President vows justice as 8 kidnappers are nabbed. Right. Once again, we've talked a lot about this, but congratulations again, once again, especially for the arrest, the release and the arrest of 8. They should be able to give valuable information. Who sent them? Where did they come from?
Yes.
It should be serious interrogation, and should not be treated with kid gloves, right? And tomorrow they say repentance this, repentance that.
I think the House was in a rowdy session last week where one of the honorable members from Jos Yusuf Gadki was saying, the video was online saying if they kill them. Nothing like repentant terrorists or repentant Boko Haram. If they are comfortable putting people through pain, leaving them under rain or under the sun, dealing with them, flogging them, and at some point they kill them, he sees no reason why they should be freed and call them repentant Boko Haram or repentant terrorists.
Some of us have had to question that repentance because
because they will still repent and some of them will go back.
Yeah, that's that. Repentance cannot be measured by a barometer. There's no quantity. Some of us that did a bit of science. There's no SU quantity for measuring repentance. For instance, if you want to measure temperature, you use barometer. You plug the barometer, it will tell you whether it is in Celsius or in Kelvin or in Fahrenheit. It will tell you that this is this temperature. How do you now measure repentance?
Maybe
by what? People can fake it. You can just say, I've repented. Have I really repented?
That's the question. And
how do you now know that I have repented? Because you are now measuring it by what I say. And who will be in prison and not repent?
They will definitely do because of circumstance.
Yeah. So this is circumstantial repentance. Is it really true repentance? How do you now judge it?
You support Honorable Yusuf Gadki?
What I'm saying, I'm not saying they should be killed because, in fairness, other advanced crimes, I've seen that even some of the persons that committed crimes over time went on to achieve great things, right? They could become great writers. They could, become great inventors and innovators. That's why the West do not believe in killing if you crime again, because you never can tell. Maybe that's the next genius you just killed that would have developed a cure for this, that. So they believe every human being is valuable, right? But I'm saying that people there should be consequences for action. If it is in a gun battle, yes, we arrest them so that we can get information and all of that. They should pass through there and maybe go to jail, right? Maybe whatever sentence is meted to them, but it should be commensurate with the atrocities and with the havoc they have meted on people. We should not treat them with gifts and say repented this, repented. If it is truly repentant, it should be a serious, long, verified process and not a process that you can just wake up tomorrow and say I repented.
All right, so I think that's the last newspaper for now.
That's the last paper that we're taking. And the last story that I'll take from my side says procurement reforms save Nigeria over 1 trillion naira, says Shetima, tax civil servants on ethical integrity. We're still talking to our civil servants on because somebody said the other day that civil servants are the heartbeat of any government, and please, if they are not corrupt, it will do us serious good.
All right, so
that's it for this segment of the program. We'll go for a short break, and when we'll come back, we take you to our next segment. Please stay with us.
In an age of breaking news, you need a trusted source that prioritizes accurate, factual, and unbiased reporting. This is AM News, and I am Ubong Usoro.
On Global Television, our news is rooted in verified and authoritative storytelling that keeps you educated, informed, and enlightened on all the issues that matter to you. I am Sadia Yakubu. This is Midday News.
You can trust our multi-platform news broadcast real-time and fast-check stories for all the big local and foreign headlines round the clock. I am Ramsey Enoch Agbo. This is News Express.
Our array of anchors delivers the news to our teeming viewers, breaking it down with context and perspective. This is News Cycle on Global Television. I am Anieti Patrick.
And the flagship news is your hub for the day's most engaging stories. This is News Prime, and I am Jumai Manson.
Did you miss any of our news rounds? No worries. Catch up at 10 p.m. and midnight, 7 days of the week. I am Mukhtar Kasim.
Global TV is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. We're active across all social media platforms at Global TV NG.
At Witchtech Cables, we don't just make cables, we deliver excellence. Our products are built with advanced technology, trusted for their unmatched quality and durability. With a wide range of cables, swift delivery, and continuous innovation, we stay ahead of the market demand. We are proudly Nigerian, fully indigenous, yet world-class. Backed by a professional team, strong technical support, and a deep commitment to customer satisfaction. Witchtech Cables is more than a brand, it's a promise. Witchtech Cables, quality cables, better than the best.
At Aerogym Shoe Factory, excellence starts from the ground up. Located at number 1 Pound Road behind Nigeria Correctional Service, Aba, Abia State. We produce 1,500 high-quality shoes every single day. Paramilitary shoes, safety boots, desert boots, ankle shoes, back-to-school footwear. All crafted with state-of-the-art equipment and built for strength, comfort, and durability. For reliable footwear that stands the test of time, choose Aerogym Shoes for better product, strong steps, smart style. For inquiries, call 091-264-53399 or 070-3009-3944 or 080-6573-8374 or call 081-3167-3668. Email info@aerogym.com. Website www.aerogymdesign.com. Aerogym. Walk with confidence. Walk with pride.
Alright, so welcome back to the program. This is where we get into our first discussion segment as Asadia will walk us through a discussion, something very interesting, and I know you would like to hear it. when you're in the office, it's different. The feeling, the atmosphere, the tension, the pressure. So the remote job offers that, right? And could offer, especially in these days, could offer, reduction in a lot of expenses because transportation is cut off. You don't need to pay, but it could also be paying energy bill because you need to make sure your laptop, your phone is charged, you have a well-lit room. So that's it. But for day-to-day job, you get to interact with people. And for me, I have high regard for meeting people. Right? Even if that would just be my only job, just meet people every day. Because I understand very well that people hold whatever you need in life. There's somebody who has it. Right, and meeting the person offers you an opportunity that you may also have it. So both ways, pros and cons. You choose what you want. There are persons who don't really like meeting people. They are introverted in nature. They just want to be home, do your thing. Remote job, absolutely best. I'll recommend. But if you are somebody who you want to meet people, you want to create network, relate with people, I think going out on a daily basis because you get to interact and meet different persons.
So we have different persons with different opinions, whereas we have some people who prefer remote jobs, and we have those who prefer the office job. From that's what we call 9 to 5. Yeah. Yes, we have those who prefer those ones, and it's favoring them, and then we have those who prefer the remote job. They feel like they want to be their own bosses, like they want to be their own boss. They don't want to serve under someone and tell the person, sir, ma. Some people don't like that. So they prefer to own their own
I think we should all, for me, having an entrepreneurial mindset, I think we should all get to that place in our lives where service is good. Especially you need to learn, get experience, get things going, understand how things work, how the real world work and all of that. But I feel that we should generally, we cannot all be entrepreneurs, right? No. But I think that we should be like the ultimate desire of everybody, where you get to that point where you are now the one also leading people, right? Because all of the experiences you've gathered, what use if you cannot translate it to the lives of people? So there should be a balance, right? I've seen persons, even young person, when we're in school, they say cannot work for anybody.
You can't work for anybody.
That's their destiny.
Someone like my kid sister, she would say, no, I can't wake up as early as possible, as 7 a.m. I will leave my bed and start going to work. Then I'll go and start and say, ma, sir, I can't do it. So I'll be like, that's your own opinion. For me, for now, I am okay doing it.
Right, I love that word you said, for now, right?
For now, I'm okay doing it, for now. Subsequently, I know we would all pass this
because it's a stage, right?
It's a stage, yeah.
And life itself is a stage. Actors come
and go, yeah. So yes, let's take it to Ogochukwu Mobuno, our able colleague, who also spoke about remote work or business.
On this edition of Random, we'll hit the street to find out what people think about it. But before we hit the street, I'll ask you, Angel, do you think working from home or in the office, which one do you prefer? Home, like remotely, or going to the office all the time? It's dicey.
Okay, I would prefer working from home. I prefer working from home.
In the comfort of your home, just press your laptop and practice you want to do. I think a lot of persons actually prefer it.
You can do that and still be open to so many other things. But when you're at work, you are focused on one particular thing. But when you're doing something, you can focus on so many other things, be at one place at the same time. So yes, I feel like it's better. It's more diverse.
And it actually saves money because you don't have to pay transportation again, and you don't have to be wearing clothes every day. I I think that stressed me more.
Yes.
Like thinking of what to wear Monday to Friday gives me a headache, and I have to iron all of them. Need to make sure that they are all clean. Then you not spend transportation again. So I think most Nigerians actually love to work from home. Most people these days love to work from home, and that's the reason why we see a lot of remote jobs. Well, we wouldn't know better from people outside, but this is my opinion and that of Angel. Angel says she prefers working from home because she can do different things at the same time. It's the comfort of her home. I think I also like to work from home, but sometimes I want to appear in the office just to see the people I've met. I like to appear in the office once in a while. So the question out there is, if given the choice, would you rather work remotely in the office or a combination of both, and why? This is where we close here in the studio. So we'll be handing over to August outside the street while she interview the people on the street and let us know what they think. Well, from us here in the studio, because this is where we're ending the show, yes, from us here in the studio, we are saying bye-bye.
All right, so let's go to a comment section where we have different opinions from different persons. Number one, from our Facebook page. Let's get the comments. All right, so let's get the comments from people out there. On my remote, so since I started office work, my business top now, I know fit dash out even 20K, whereas I used to dash out more than 50K. On my remote work, Sobo, and this from Ibrahim Maidubu. Let's get the next comments. From Nuruddin Babagana said remote. He prefers remote job. Aliyu Erufai also saying remote. Ibrahim Zuma office. Muhammad Ahmad remote. Then Blessed Friday remote. I prefer office work. So yes, these are the comments that I will take because of time. So you see, what's your opinion? Do you prefer remote job or office work? For me, for a start, we'll go with office job. Then as time goes on, we'll fall back to remotes so that I would have both experience. That's for me, Sha. Why for some persons, they prefer office. Like from some of the comments, we have office. Those that choose office jobs, and then we have those that prefer remote job. Like a comment from Ibrahim Idubu, he said, he prefers remote because then he could give out 20K, 50K, and he has his own time to do things. But ever since he started official job, he couldn't do all these things again. That means he's limited. Yes, to some extent, official jobs do limit some persons. You can do some things because your time and everything you dedicate it to that office work, whereas the business, you have time to do things. So let's get the comments from the streets of Abuja.
My name is Dogara Waguna.
Okay.
Yeah.
If given the choice, would you rather work remotely in the office or a combination of both?
I think a combination of both.
Why is that?
Because being in the office only, you won't gather a lot of experience.
Okay.
But you work in the office and you also at least you go out, you have some view, you gather a lot of experience, better than those that are in the office.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So So please, what's your name?
My name is Nuhu.
No.
Nuhu Bardi.
Okay. If given the choice, would you rather work remotely in the office or a combination of both? And can you tell me why?
I would like to do both. I am personally, I'm not a person that likes to be in one place. I like to move. I like to be up and down. I'll get bored if I stay at home just in one place. Do you understand? So I like to go to the office. I like to do remotely. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So please, what's your name?
My name is Okechiku.
Okechiku.
Okechiku Anyadike.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if given the choice, would you rather work remotely in the office or a combination of both?
Okay, if I'm given the choice, I would rather work remotely.
Why is that?
Because if I should work remotely, I will have convenience of my own time. And based on Nigerian way of life, that the economy, the way before you know it, things go high, the traffic and the inconveniences on the road and other things. But if I'm to work remotely, I will be in the comfort of my home, doing my stuff, making my money calmly.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Different people, different preferences. While some value the flexibility of remote work, others believe the office offers better collaboration and productivity as workplaces continue to evolve. One thing is certain, the future of work is changing and people are adapting in different ways. That's Random. For Random, I am Oche Ochaya Augustina.
All right, so welcome back from the streets of Abuja. Do you prefer remote job, business, or the both? For some persons, they prefer remote job, while for some persons, they prefer business, and some persons prefer both. So, Ubong Usoro, you also prefer both?
Yeah, I think it depends on the circumstance per time.
Like one of the persons said,
Right.
he said he prefers both because of Nigerian situation.
Right.
Well,
It could be very stressful if you are, because like I said, I've done remote jobs before, so I understand it could be very stressful. I once worked for an Indian company, right? The remuneration is very amazing, but the work, it's also quite very hectic. You could, for people who think office work is stressful, that particular job role was even more stressful. But there's a lot of flexibility because you decide when to start in the morning. They have 3 starting times. It's either you start by 7 a.m., start by 8, or you clock in by 9. But whatever time you start also determines when you finish for the day. Because I think it's about 6 hours. So if you start by 7, you finish earlier, you start by 8. But within that time, you have 1 hour of break. But within the times that you are to work, you really must work, because for every, I think, 4 or 5 seconds that there's activity on your screen, there's like a platform where everybody gets to see what everybody's doing, right, at that time. If you don't have activity, the HR will call you. Be like, hello, Mr. Ubong or Mr. Usoro, is there a problem from your end? You say, oh, no problem, say, because we're not seeing activity from your end. So you have to go back. So you can't be on that job and sleep. For the time you are supposed to work, you really have to. You really must be working, because everything you do is seen. 1 minute that you are not there, they will call you. What is happening? So sometimes you can say, oh, there's no, because they have like 30 minutes. If you don't have power, you could take 30 minutes in every day. They have 30 minutes allowance for maybe your power got bad, or because Nigeria. So maybe that's the only time you can take to relax. You could just say, we didn't have power. So we have 30 minutes, but you can't take more than 30 minutes after. So it's that regulated. So I think it just depends on where you are per time and what you want per time.
All right. So for next week, in case you're interested in posting, when we post the topic for next week, you can always follow us on our social media platform, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter using our Global TV NG. Drop your comments there, and definitely we'll pick it up the week we are supposed to run the show, and then we'll display it on the screen to hear your own opinion. But now we'd have to go for a short break where we'll bring you taste and texture, your morning breakfast, and then aerobics before we jump into the next segment, which is the final segment for today's episode of the program Global Morning. Don't go nowhere. Stay glued. Watch Taste and Texture.
Hello guys, this is to specially welcome you to this episode of Taste and Texture, and it promises to be as engaging as it will be eye-opening. On the show, we're going to prepare a tasty delicacy that is indigenous, and we will be preparing it from scratch. In today's episode of the program, we'll be preparing Nigerian pancakes, which is always a delicious and simple breakfast option. This one is a Nigerian pancake recipe that differs from the original pancake version. Here, plantain, scotch bonnet, and onions are added to the mixture. Also, this breakfast pancake can be made very quickly by anyone. In addition to the speed and ease of making it, it is also fun to make. Ingredients: flour, eggs, milk, sugar, salt, nutmeg, onions, scotch bonnet, and plantains. Step 1. Add your egg, milk, flour, nutmeg, salt, and plantain into a blender and blend till smooth. Pour the batter into a bowl. Add scotch bonnet and onions and mix. Step 2. Oil your pan till hot and add your batter. Cook your pancakes on medium to high heat. Flip your pancake after 2 minutes and allow to cook. Continue the process till your batter is all done. There you have it. Your Nigerian pancake is ready. You can pair it with pap, custard, or tea for full satisfaction. Enjoy! That's it on today's episode of the program Taste and Texture. Hope you will try this recipe in your various homes and hope you enjoyed the program. Join me same time next week for another episode of the program. I am Saadatu Garba. Thank you for watching. See you on the next one.